Hey dudes and dudettes, Mr. Theorist here and welcome back to another Ramble reaction review. This one is on Transformers The Last Night. Topical!
Yeah,
And cool t-shirt.
Yeah.
So, you know how these videos work by now, guys. We give our own personal views on the plots, just do a bit of discussion, and then give a rating system on it. This one is going to be a fun one.
Now, let's start because the one thing that we've all, as soon as we stepped out of the movie, we already vented about it. So I've lost some of my energy for it, but
yeah,
it's not a good film.
No.
It is nowhere near a good film. Now, when I went in to see the film, when I first walked into the film, I had a certain amount of goodwill. It was a Bay movie, and I was expecting it to be a Bay movie. So I was expecting it to be particularly bad with trashy characters, military porn, all of the usual Bayisms in there.
Yeah, if you've seen any Bay film, you know what we're talking about.
It is along the same kind of lines. So I had a certain amount of goodwill thinking, yeah, this is going to be a pretty bad movie.
Yeah.
But I came out of that movie feeling damaged. It felt like I had had a visual and audio lobotomy. It was that bad. I mean, a lot of people will start saying, oh, it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie. No, but this, I felt, was almost deliberately created to be a bad movie. Like, my thoughts is, the movie starts, it's based in the continuity of the movies, and we're now on an Earth where Transformers are a thing. Now, what I found from movie to movie, it didn't really affect human society. It does feel like they have an effect.
Yes, that's one thing that the previous film and this one I felt have done.
Yeah, there's a fact that it's affected the world as in general. The opening to the movie had a District 9 vibe to it. Is that there was parts of the towns that were decimated by the effect of Transformers, and they showed Transformers all over the world. And I thought, okay, it's starting okay.
Yeah.
And then they started introducing the new characters, a young girl they introduced, which is character.
She's okay.
Okay character, and then introducing new little Transformers like, what's his name, Tweaks?
Something like that.
There's a cute R2-D2 type, I think he's more of a BB-8 character. That was not a particularly bad character, but they did nothing with it. They used a couple of new characters. Now, as the film starts up, the Bayism starts, the humour, the characters. You feel that they introduced new characters, and you feel that every single line that they are given is supposed to be a joke. Like they're a joke line, they're a joke character. You had Marky Mark back in it, bringing back his character.
Mr. Yeager, yes.
There's a new sidekick, obviously black comedy character.
Because that's all Bay does.
But wasn't as bad as previous black characters.
No.
But he was his sidekick character from the movie. So, but every single line that he had to be a joke. And as these jokes are going on, I'm thinking, it's starting to be annoying, but I can enjoy the action of the movie.
Yeah.
Then the movie starts, and as it continues, it was eroding at me. Now, the plot of the film.
I actually think...
Go for it. You explain the plot and tell me what you thought of the plot.
Right. So, when it first opened up, and it was this whole society where basically humanity had decided Transformers...
Before we get that, we get the beginning of the movie. How does the movie start?
Well, that's what I was going to say. It starts off literally as the last movies have been taken into account, and people have decided that you're talking
already.
Yeah, the movie opens up with King Arthur versus Saxons.
Stupid. King Arthur. So it starts in King Arthur's time, and it turns out there were Transformers on the Earth.
Yeah, even though the previous film said that it wasn't until continuity. It's all over the place with Bayisms. But yeah, basically, King Arthur's era is when Transformers were around.
There was a ship that was crashed.
Yeah.
That is discovered by apparently Merlin. Merlin's an historical character. And he discovers the Transformers. There's a battle between Arthur and whoever, the bad guys.
The Saxons, supposedly.
Whatever. Knights versus knights. He's losing the battle, and he says Merlin will come through and help us. Merlin has been in touch with these Transformers and goes to ask them for help. They come out, as a huge dragon and fight in the battle. Yeah, you like dragons, so you enjoyed that aspect. And they win the battle. Now, in this first scene, it looks kind of cool with knights and explosions and all that, but this is the beginning, because when they introduce the Merlin character, they introduce him as a comedy character, as somebody who's a con man and a drunk, and they play it for gags. And I thought, oh gosh, this is the beginning of the Bay kind of characters.
That's the thing, is this movie, when it first started, at the very beginning, I have to admit that I was kind of a little bit pumped right at the beginning when I saw these two armies clashing, and you had like the full
Good
battle
action
area,
scene.
and then they were like, Merlin's off to go find help, and obviously because it's a Transformer film, you're like, oh, he's going to go get Transformers, because somehow Transformers are in this. And you see Merlin doing a heroic gallop towards the where he's going, and then Bay has to bay him up, and it's just, if you do it within the first 5 minutes, you instantly make your audience go, oh my god.
But yeah, so it's the kind of Bay style movie of how what makes these movies bad was already starting there. And then it comes to modern day. You reintroduced to Marky Mark. He's the character Jaeger. What's his name?
It's Jaeger. His name is Jaeger.
His name's Jaeger.
Something Jaeger.
And Transformers thing, so it introduces back all of the old Transformers, like Drift is there, Grimlock, all the characters that introduced in the previous movie, Hound. They are all together surviving in this kind of near, kind of slightly post-apocalyptic future where Transformers are a common thing.
But everyone hates them.
Everyone hates them, and there actually is the military hunting them down. So Jaeger is a wanted man by the military.
Which, this is the thing, is
it's
this is cool. Like, that's the thing, is the plot itself, to a degree, is quite cool. And the whole thing where they then introduce what the big threat of the movie is going to be, it's going to basically be, spoilers, it's something's controlling Cybertron is going to bring Cybertron to Earth to absorb Earth's energy to rejuvenate Cybertron. It's like, wow, this plot actually sounds quite cool. Obviously, there is the MacGuffin and everything, but it's cool. It's just...
Oh yeah, there was the MacGuffin, it's just the... when Merlin...
Merlin's staff.
The power that given onto Merlin is a staff, which is important, is the Matrix item of the movie, which everyone's trying to get all the way through the film. So yeah, then we are introduced to I suppose, the main villain, which apparently is the god of Transformers and
creator of
Optimus Prime.
Oh, so yeah, because it doesn't even specify if it's everyone. She just keeps saying, "I am your creator. I am your creator," and it's like,
created Optimus Prime.
Is there like a whole species that then built all the individuals?
Yeah, so let's explain what we're trying to explain it as we're going along. Optimus Prime is in this. You see him floating in space. He lands on Cybertron. He meets his creator, which is a character called Quintessa, who is basically... It's based on the concept of quintessons. If you know your Transformers history at all,
you'll go, it's a reference to that sort of creature.
If you didn't know, she's just this female kind of squid creature who apparently is the god of Transformers. She then makes Prime believe that you need to fight for Cybertron and for me, and you need to go and destroy Earth. And Prime goes, oh, okay.
He goes, okay. And then we get this whole reveal of, he's going to be evil, and then... By the way, bye Optimus for the rest, for 90% of the film.
So that's it. You see Optimus at this point, and then an hour, then it's gone. You don't see him for a good hour of the movie. Then the rest of the movie just follows Jaeger. He's being chased by the government, and he meets the little girl. They go off on adventures.
But the government's got this really complex plan, don't they? Where they've decided that the only way they can get to Jaeger, even though they know exactly where he is to get the Decepticons to help them for... reasons.
Yeah, Megatron's in it. Shows up. He has an alliance with the humans to hunt down Jaeger. They hunt him down, and then Megatron disappears for a good hour of the movie. Yeah, if you're a fan of the Megatron and the Optimus, they are hardly in this film at all.
Yeah,
they're hardly in it.
Bay likes to do this thing where he likes to have the military, but it almost feels its own overdrive in this film.
Yeah, so the film is filled with, obviously, shows full ongoing action scenes with the military, showing them getting ready and building up with dramatic music, which is what he puts in every single movie. He might as well just use stock footage in every single film.
Yeah.
Because people watch this and go, it's exactly the same film. To me, this is a lot worse than what he's done before.
Oh, God. It's
incredibly long, and you do feel with all these all the things that Michael Bay loves, he's doing it to troll us. He's trying to make us.
It literally feels like all of his fans out there who have been like, oh, babe, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? It feels like this movie is him reacting to us and going, you think I did it bad before?
Yeah, I feel that he said before he wanted to stop doing Transformers, and then he's done another one, and he says, oh, this is my last one, he'll do another one. I think he's deliberately making a bad movie so people will not go see it, so it loses money, so he doesn't have to do another one.
But he still gets paid for doing the movie in the first place, though.
Anyway, now we get the pandering to certain markets. As in the previous one, it's kind of like half the movie's based in America, the other half is based in China, because it was trying to appeal to the Chinese market. So here we go, it's panders to the British market. So suddenly we are now from America. We are introduced to Anthony Hopkins' character,
Poor Anthony.
and then we are in England for pretty much the rest of the movie. Now this is just stupid. I mean, again, this is just the kind of stupid things, the kind of comedy characters you're introduced to. Anthony Hopkins, who apparently he is a descendant of King Arthur.
No, just the knights in general. Like, the whole organisation of the knights. They're now a society group, aren't they? Secret society.
Yeah, but he's from there is a family name, which is Witwicken.
Witwicken, yes.
Witwicken, which is a family name.
And
does he come from Merlin?
No. The girl comes from Merlin.
Yeah,
she comes from Merlin.
Yeah. Well, we haven't got to the girl yet.
Oh, yeah, sorry, jumping ahead.
Jumping ahead because this moves all over the place. He is a descendant of King Arthur, and his family lineage name is Witwicken, and the Witwickens have always been connected to the Transformers since King Arthur's time, which basically means this is the reason why it's like a fate thing. Reason why
Sam the first
and
film
his grandfather are connected to it because they are descendant from the Wiccans, i.e. Witwicken.
I didn't read it completely into that. They're saying that it was all fate.
Yes, it was all fate. The Wiccan line.
I obviously my brain turned off by that point.
Of course, well, all our brains did because we were finding it hard to watch. But so introduced to Anthony Hopkins. Then there's a female character, love interest for Marky Mark, who is a prim proper. Actually, I worked out who she is.
Who?
She's Lara Croft.
Oh.
She's Lara Croft.
If Lara Croft never raided tombs.
Well, no, she don't. You see what she looks like at the end of the movie.
Yeah, by the end of the movie,
and look what they're doing. I mean, we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, she's introduced as a professor, doctor, English posh accent,
whatever. That's quite literally
which
what
is
they say.
basically what she is. She is a Lara Croft character.
Yeah.
And so she's introduced into the story, and Anthony Hopkins brings her and Marky Mark together and explains this whole lineage of King Arthur and Transformers for the past 1600 years. Now, if these ideas sound good. Then yeah, it was actually, this film had some good ideas.
There was good plot to this movie.
It is such a long movie, and it erodes at you with the pure stupidity of humour, of gag characters. I mean, there's a character called Cogman, who is basically a human-sized transformer, who is the butler of Anthony Hopkins. Every single line that he says has to be a gag. Or he's like, oh, isn't it funny? He's British and he's talking like an American black gangster. It's like, oh, for God's sake, this is just cretinous humour. It really
the movie, quite literally.
I mean, some people might find this funny, but when you are 2.5 hours, just constantly fun at you, it erodes at you. And I know you felt that as the movie got on, it eroded at you. I mean, you pretty much follow those three characters.
I personally like. This guy knows, and our friends know that I can happily, to some degree, I will happily watch a Transformer film and be like, it's silly, but it's fun. Yeah. Even I got to the point in 40 minutes in where I was just like, please just make this stop.
Much. When it is fun, you don't find it fun. That's fun because of the humour, the characters, and it becomes a chore to watch. Yeah. It becomes almost visual torture. Yeah. In a way that it's just so bad. And I felt like walking out. What I didn't find out until afterwards. You felt like walking out.
All of us. We spoke to everyone we went with, and all of us like, if we went which we didn't go as a group, we would have.
And then you're pretty much following the adventures of the main characters as they go hunting down, trying to find this MacGuffin, which is the staff.
Human characters, though, again, because it's a Transformer film, we have to follow
them.
Humans.
There's a few other Transformers get introduced. We don't care. No. There's a gang of Decepticons. Megatron comes back when he does his deal with humans. He instantly brings back a load of new Decepticons, which each one has his name plastered on the screen, so you remember them.
Suicide Squad style.
Then the next scene they all die. So
Yeah.
they were pointless.
Yeah.
But yeah, and on the Autobot side, there's the new character Hot Rod. Now you were gonna here's how much this film affects you. Hot Rod is your favourite Transformer character.
I thought Hot
Go
Rod has always been my fan since since he introduced me to the original series, and I fell in love with Hot Rod. I thought it was an awesome character all the way through. And when I heard he's in this film, part of me was like, but at the same time I was like, yay, my Transformers in this movie.
Yeah.
And
this movie was so bad, you didn't even care.
I didn't care.
You didn't care.
He turned up, and as soon as they did the stereotype Bay version of my character, I was like, God, for 5 seconds, and then I forgot he even existed.
Yeah. Mainly because the film had wholly done its damage. You really didn't care. So it builds up to a big finish. Cybertron's coming to Earth. Oh yeah, Earth has started growing horns for some reason. Yes. And then we find out the reason why Transformers keep coming to Earth, because Earth is the counter to Cybertron, and it's referred to as Unicron.
Yes, the big scary devil of the Transformers continuity is Earth.
Which has been done before in one version of Transformers history.
The only time anything's been hinted at it or anything. Just Bay going, oh look, I'm going to ruin another element of the the continuity of Transformers because I hate the fans.
So it comes to a big finish of Cybertron is in Earth's atmosphere. It's almost like hooking onto Earth. Visually, it looks good, but again, the movie had already done its damage. I didn't care.
Don't care.
So it comes to a big, huge fight finish, which I thought I would enjoy. Oh, there's Evil Prime comes to Earth, and finally, after an hour and a half, you go, oh yeah, Prime's back. Instantly starts having a fight with Bumblebee, and Bumblebee goes, it's me, Bumblebee, and Prime goes, oh yeah, it is.
Literally, he talks in his normal voice and says, Prime, don't do it. And then Prime's like, okay. I'm good now.
Yeah, he was killed by the power of friendship. So now it's Prime, I'm now going to lead you. So then they have the typical kind of Transformer ending to a movie, which is the humans and the Autobots all rushing to fight the Decepticons. Oh yeah, by the way, Decepticons' motivation has just flipped. At one point they were on the side of the humans, you don't see them for an hour and a half, and now suddenly they are with Contessa.
He's completely got rid of the whole concept of Megatron himself, isn't he? Like, Megatron, the dedicated Cybertronian fighting to save his planet, and he flip-flops now.
He was on the side of the humans for their alliance, to help them to...
Just so he could get his men out, though. There was...
Yeah, but then it's only he's actually working for Quintessa, which it's just said, I'm working for Quintessa. So just so they have somebody to fight at the end of the movie. So a big, huge finish, fight, hack and slash, defeats the Decepticons. They get the MacGuffin into the girl's hand, who is the descendant of Merlin, because it's her powerful weapon, which we probably didn't even mention at the beginning of the video because we don't care. So she's the hero, and they stop the worlds from colliding. Megatron escapes, Quintessa escapes. Yay!
You really don't get much of a revelation because Cybertron now is staying connected to Earth.
Yeah. We are now on one planet at the end.
Just continues existing. She's not properly defeated. Prime doesn't die, or there's no like penance for him being evil, and he actually killed humans when he was evil as well. He actually did kill humans, but because it's Bay film, it doesn't matter. Megatron just flies off.
Small bits he was in.
Yeah.
I feel
there was nothing.
I feel if this movie was half the length and was more of an action movie and not just the taking out majority of the comedy moments and the military porn, you could have had a decent movie. Oh, the one thing this movie is doing, it's also trying to tap into its own nostalgia. Now that the movie is 10 years old, it was making references to the previous movies. So, like this crashed spaceship from Dark of the Moon. You see that
get destroyed.
You see the pyramid from the Fallen.
Yeah, Revenge of the Fallen.
A picture of Sam.
It is a picture from his eBay account as well.
Yeah, the eBay account.
Yeah,
picture.
so it's a reference to the first film.
There's lots of little references.
And Starscream's head.
Starscream's head. The reappearance of Barricade, who's from the first movie. So it's trying to touch into its own nostalgia. So it's kind of like it is trying to target those 10-year-olds who watched, the little kids.
Oh my god,
that
yeah, he's
watched
trying to create his own
Transformers who are now adults.
Oh yeah, he's
Bring
trying to
them back in,
basically
yes.
create his own version of the Transformer fan base.
Yeah, because the Transformers, the first movie, was built on the nostalgia of Transformers. This movie is trying to tap into the nostalgia of the first movie.
He thinks his movies are worth that.
I know.
Huh.
I know.
Our personal opinion, I will give it a rating of 1. 1. Because his friggin' babeness just made me want to just... I almost fell asleep during the film because it was just so freaking boring within 40 minutes.
Okay,
so
cool.
1.
One.
What's
You
yours?
will give 1. Okay, this film...
Out of 10.
when I came out of this film, I almost felt like I was shell-shocked because it was a chore. It was... it took me on a journey that was just... It was an effort to watch.
Yeah. A movie
It did not.
never
The
do that.
thing about a movie, it comes from the industry that calls itself entertainment industry.
Yeah.
This did not entertain me in any kind of way, and the parts that should have entertained me didn't, because what was the bad about the movie already did its damage. So what I should have enjoyed, which was there, it was there. There was some enjoyable stuff there. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it at all. Am I going to give this 1 out of 10? Yeah, I'm going to give it 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
I am, because it's. There was nothing about the film that I found was redeemable. Sometimes in a Bay movie, there's always the bad bits, but I still enjoy.
Yeah, like the second one,
bits.
where you've got like it is silly. The second one, before this film, the second one was the worst, but it had little bits where you had like Optimus, he'll take on an army of Decepticons, and it was a good enough scene in the bad movie that made you go, yeah. This movie, even though it could have had those moments, Banus just got to the point where you couldn't even rally yourself up to go yay once.
The Transformer, all the varied amount of characters they had in it were only in it for brief bits.
Yeah.
It was focused too much on the Bayisms, which is the military porn, the bad lowbrow humour, and just the long scenes which just drains you. And yeah. So guys, overall, if you haven't seen the film and
don't go watch it. Don't go watch it. Don't support it. If you don't like any of the other films, don't go see this one.
If you enjoyed the Transformers movie, all 2 years, that's great. If you do enjoy these kind of movies,
don't
that's
go
fine.
see it. No, don't. Even if you enjoy these movies, don't go see it. Honestly, it's god awful.
Yeah. It's a structured movie. I mean, people enjoy it. I mean, the weirdest thing is there
was actually applaud.
There was kids at the back that applauded it. I don't know if they were doing it, taking the mickey or what.
It sounded genuine.
It sounded genuine.
It really did.
And this is scary. This is the future of cinema. It really is.
Anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this rant review.
Explosion. Crying.
If we'd have come home straight away and done this, it would have been 10 times worse, because
the energy...
we were all just unable to talk for 10 minutes because it was just so bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, if you have in some strange way enjoyed this video, please hit that like button or leave a comment. Tell us. Or if you've gone to see it and tell us your opinion of this movie. And if you guys, please do subscribe to the channel. And until the next video, either both of us or just me, we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye.